Where are we?
He's
Hang
a
on now.
messer.
Hang on now. Because you're not in the shot.
That's because your glass is in your way.
I was trying to look at
Clever.
Yeah.
I'd say cover your face.
And he, can I have one of those napkins? And then he went and ruined it. With his comments.
What do you mean, my comments?
Your comments in
You were
general.
heard on the internet. Say what you said.
No, you weren't. I have to keep that away from the
Wasn't it?
Mac. Yeah. Now we're
Give me my
live.
phone, thank you. Sup dogs.
Good evening.
Christian.
Mm.
No,
Now-
Slurpee.
Don't
This
test
is
my
us.
patience.
This is us doing
So-
this, right? You're usually off. Up
What are you doing?
ignoring
What are you
us.
doing?
He's going to sit here with us, but
So he's live.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're live on Big Brother. Please do not swear.
Yeah. So
You're giving yourself a little wipe down, Jay.
that's stress. We're
There was 5. There's only 2 there. No,
I don't trust that thing anymore.
no. I kind of did that.
Unable to connect to chat. Please try again later. Ah, come on. Did I?
It says that all the time. Will I try connecting?
I would comment, but I can't.
Reload page. Will that do it? Live chat. Stream settings. Live chat.
I really don't like it.
Are you going to send a message?
I'm gonna try.
Unable to connect to chat. I might have to go out and go back in. Did you send a message? There was an ad.
Oh well, at least you have ads. That's good news.
Skip the ad. Skip the ad. No, just hit skip.
It's not live, is it?
No, it's skip the ad. Just skip the ad.
Yeah, but right. Okay.
Oh, you see, we're not seeing
Hi,
the
guys.
comments.
Great news. Okay,
We're
well, I'll
not seeing
keep
the
this on then,
comments. We're not seeing the comments.
Mommy can keep her one on.
and I just turned the volume off.
Okay, so we can't see the comments.
Hi, Mr. Will I say hello from here?
I can't see the. Well, you'll have to share the thing so I can see the comments. What are you doing?
She's commenting.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. Great news about getting. If I turn it that way, it's only going to show the picture.
Alright, turn it back the other way then.
Do you have any idea about technology?
That's annoying now.
Hi,
I was able
Aaron.
to see the.
Hi, Hayat. I'm not great with.
Well, I'd say everyone would struggle with that.
Yeah.
Just say hey.
I struggle with English.
Hey at Mr. Ford, good evening. So that's annoying now that we can't see the comments. That happened before, didn't it?
Try it again and see if it just kicked through.
No. See, I don't want to reload the page because we could run into issues.
Just type something in, press enter.
I did look, and it's saying when I see, I did that. I typed that earlier.
Type in bleep.
Sup. See, watch. See, it's not coming up.
Very strange. Hi, Dackle. See, it came in there. It's just not loading on yours for some reason. Anyway, we can see them through mine, right?
Yeah.
I'll keep my eye on it. Oh, here's the rain again.
Let's
Well, I
see.
keep my eye on
General
it too.
enable live.
Yeah.
I was able to see enable live chat. I'll switch it off and then on again, right?
Yeah.
Save.
Oh, nice. We have 8 viewers.
No, there's something wrong.
No,
I think I'll have to do a fresh.
I think so.
I think I'll have to load this fresh from next week. I think completely.
Yes, Aaron, great news about the camping. Absolutely.
So what did he say?
Out from the 29th of June. I'm not sure it's all campsites because I was just looking at Leo Varadkar's Instagram there, and I'm not sure that it's all campsites that can actually open. So we don't need to look at ourselves. We can just look at the chat.
Yeah, but now I can't see if we don't go live.
I was looking at Leo Varadkar's Instagram there, and I don't think it's actually all campsites that can open. No, I'm not sure.
What did he
To be
say?
very honest, it was just somebody else saying, "Oh, campsites people usually social distance in campsites anyway." But I don't think it's anything to do with the actual camping. I think it's more to do with the amenities, isn't it? It's not to do, obviously. People camp separately in their own tents,
I wasn't
their
listening.
own mobiles and whatever else they're in. But it's the amenities, the toilets, the showers, the cookers if you're using cookers. It's all those things that they can't guarantee social distancing in.
Yeah,
They
well,
need to not open.
I don't mind not sharing. I just need to use a loo. But obviously, if they can't open the public loos because their
Yeah.
van doesn't have a loo, well then,
We couldn't go.
Aaron and some other people type stuff.
Yeah, no, Daddy's looking at that there.
Oh.
So yeah, but look, hopefully it'll be sorted out. It'll all come out in the wash because I don't think anyone was actually
not
not
open
open
for
for
tents.
tents. Ah, right, okay. Why is that?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Um,
How are we? How is
Hyatt
it?
is following us with interest from Turkey.
Ooh.
Hello from Ireland to Turkey.
Very good. Very interesting. What time is it in Turkey?
Same time, is
Couple of no. Be what 3 hours ahead
it?
probably,
Is it?
or yeah,
I don't know.
probably 2 or 3 hours ahead. Maybe you can tell us.
it'd be very late there, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So okay. I suppose we can kick it off then. I haven't followed the new updates, but it's a bit like the UK.
Only opening for motorhomes. Yeah, you see, we're not technically a motorhome
Ah.
because we need
Yeah,
to.
okay, yeah.
We're not a
Yeah.
motorhome.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, we have the porta potty.
Yeah.
Do you guys have those?
I only like using that in absolute emergencies.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you have that?
Now, what?
Do you have that number game?
What number game?
The thing with the numbers and the questions stuff that we.
No. So don't start going off on a tangent.
You have to sit now and be good, right, and just listen to us talking or have
Yeah.
a conversation.
Have you ever heard
as
the
part of-
term "trees a crowd"?
Ah, no, don't say that to him. Get out then.
Don't. Right. That's not very nice.
That's not very nice when you say
On the
to my
start of the
child.
show.
Yeah.
Okay, we still have good streaming strength. Okay. Go on, what?
I don't know, what was I saying? Yeah, no, you have to be in line with our
Aaron
conversation.
says we can go.
Christian,
Oh yeah,
okay?
yeah. So don't start butting in there because it's bad enough with your
Saying
mother.
something
Y-
random.
Your
I'm
mother.
the only
Your,
random person allowed.
your
to.
mother has me distracted half the time.
That's my bullshit.
Okay, so what are this week's topics? A couple of things, a couple of housekeeping things. First of all, obviously, I used my anamorphic video, so thank you to anyone who watched it and liked it and so on. It went much better this week. I was able to use it properly, and I got some nice images. And I do have to say, I do recommend it. It does give a nice image. And it was very easy to work with. The only thing I'd say is using it is because it's fully manual. It was difficult to control the gimbal, manually focus, and do all those kind of bits and pieces like that as well. But it was a test, and that's what I was just trying to figure out. Good evening, Nigel.
Good evening, Nigel
we are-
and Leslie.
we are-
from the Wirral.
Yes,
They were only a few weeks ago, weren't
that's
they?
right. Yeah, where's the Wirral?
It's near Liverpool, where Kerry Katona lives.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So that was the thing. So I put up the video anyway, and I was very happy with the image. I think it was very nice. So I am looking forward to using it. So that was that. The only thing I'd say there is a lot of having the lens on automatic, autofocus and all that kind of stuff, is better because it's just easier. It's one less thing to think about. But I was constantly having to focus, and the other thing was then.
Bad workman always blames his tools.
The other thing as well, the lens doesn't have the stability. It doesn't have inbuilt stabilization. So I have to be careful of that as well. So that's the only thing. That was that thing. And obviously then I put up my video about the tires, and I have to say I got a great response to that video about tires. It was only 4 minutes, so it was pretty short for me.
Did you just show them pictures, was it? You didn't speak?
Well, no, I just said basically I'd replace the tires, and then I put in a nice bit of B-roll, and I thought the B-roll was very nice. So I kept it short. I just basically said that I'd bought the tires. But it was interesting to see the response because I got some
Did
really.
you say, I bought this?
We're in a funny mood. What are you up to? How many of those wines have you had?
That was it.
Cheers, by the way,
2
everybody.
mouthfuls.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. I can't see if you're in the image or not. All we can just see is this arm. So,
I'm not in the image.
it was interesting about the tyres. So basically, what it seems to be is that we paid €185 per tyre. And most people's reactions were that they were probably a little bit on the dear side. And the suggestions were, one suggestion was to maybe get tyres from the UK and get them shipped over. And I thought that was a good idea, but I think by the time we factor in shipping them over,
P&P.
and obviously then we'd have to pay to get them fitted somewhere, and then I think there's a recycling charge for tyres and like that as well. That's all included. So you'd have to investigate that. But then someone else had a suggestion to say to go
Up north.
up the north. Yeah, so if we were up there on a trip, that you could go in and get some tyres as part of the trip and all that, which I thought was a good idea. But all in all, I think €370 for 2 tyres after 4.5 years wasn't too bad. But I think that, see, the point is that if you were replacing your tyres every year, so say you were doing 35 or 40,000 kilometres a year, then that might make...
Yeah, lad up down.
Yeah, because then that would be the thing. Because obviously the cost of replacing 4 sets of tyres every year, you know, because I think that I didn't take an image of the tyres before, but what they said was that they were getting close to the limit. So they were still within the legal limit. And I drive a company car, and the company car, the tyres get replaced by lease plan, right? So it's a lease plan car, and I can go into these places to get the tyres. And I know the tyres have to be far more worn before they'll replace them. So they have to come out and check, and they have to be either at the limit or gone below it. And I think, but I was just being cautious, because the point I was making to people was there's no point in having a 4-motion band that we got for safety in heavy rain and driving, and then having rubbish tyres in it. It just defeats the purpose. And so I think what I did was I just bit the bullet and said, let's just go out and buy brand new tyres. And the good news was the ones in the rear will probably last us for easily another year, because we don't do 10,000 kilometres a year.
No.
So we're looking at them. In fact, Aaron's point was that like when they were 6 years old, so we probably might make it to the full 6 years. And actually, there was another point that was quite interesting, because someone said about
Considering for this year we haven't driven it.
well, yeah, you can probably write off this year actually. Yeah, so there you go. But then I got the point, and I think it was Dackle123, which is on there. I think is he?
He is, yeah.
So I think his point about, he actually mentioned about the I think it was himself, about the 4-motion. So I hadn't even considered that, because you would think, because it's like 4-wheel drive, you think we'd wear the tyres, but it's not really 4-wheel drive. What it is that it's front-wheel drive, and from time to time it kicks into the rear. So
And you have to remember ours is an automatic as well, so you don't move down your gears. The wheels are
what, spinning?
Yeah, and the brake is pushing on the brake.
I drive a manual car. I've never spun the wheels like. So.
I've been in your car. You're a terrible
No.
driver.
I don't spin the wheels, so I take your point, but I don't think
No, I wasn't going to say spinning the wheels. What I was saying is, in the automatic, you kind of rely on the brakes and the wheels being good. So you rely on them anyway. But you know the way you can come down in your gears to. Yeah.
But the van comes down in its gears.
Yeah, but the van is doing it, and it's relying on the brakes to do it. In the geared car, it's not.
No, but I don't think that would affect the tyres.
Yeah, it does.
No.
Yeah, I was told when I was buying it that when I was buying my car,
Manual cars are easier on tyres.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I can't see how. No, you see, the thing that wears the front tyres down, right? First of all, the engine is up the front, right? So that's like, if the back of the van is nothing in it, it's very light, and so the engine is sitting on top of the tyres, so there's more weight there. But also there's the turning. There's all the turning that goes on. So that's the thing, that the tyres turn, which would be the main reason for wear and tear. And obviously that's where the powertrain is, so the power is there. So that's the point, that there probably is something there in that. But I think someone told me the main wear and tear is that if you're on the motorway, that I would have always thought that driving on motorways would have been better for your tyres. But someone said to me, no, because of the high speed and the high level of friction and all that kind of stuff wears out your tyres quicker. And when you think about it, it makes sense. So so that's the thing. So a lot of good suggestions, I think, and it was very, very helpful to people. And obviously, whenever we put those kind of videos up, anything to do with the van, tires, and all that kind of stuff, people do tend to get engaged. They tend to like them. We put up the video, the one I did in January about when the van was 4 years old. Has had a lot of views. A lot of people are interested in that as well. So and I would like to put up more videos like that about that kind of stuff. But the channel, I think I put up videos about everything really. So things like changing the tires, they don't come on that often. And what else? Like we took off the roof box. We did a video on that. The van was 4 years old. So I'd say then there will be videos from time to time. Obviously, touch wood, that things don't go wrong with it. But what I would say is that the main video is going to be when we hit 5 years old, and obviously at that stage we'll own it.
The final payment goes.
So we'll have to have some kind of. So I won't do the video till we've paid the final payment, and then we'll have some kind of celebration, and it'll be air van outright. So that's the thing. I just wanted to say, but it was like it's worth looking at the comments because it's interesting that something such as tires, people have a lot of comments on it, like a lot of comments, which is quite interesting.
That's good.
Neil Armstrong was putting up lots of interesting comments as well about the van when it was 4 years old and all that kind of stuff. So thanks to Neil if you're on there. I don't see any comments from me, but thanks very much. Okay, so that's me rambling. What's that?
Dackle says that the California is more than a vehicle; it's a hobby, and people, me, in brackets, love to talk about it.
Yeah, and that's.
Jay.
I know. And the thing is, I sit looking at it. I admire it sitting out there. I'm kind of looking at it. And actually, I think I saw a 6.1. I saw a VW 6.1 driving through where we lived the other day, and I saw the styling of it, and I was like, now, I think the styling of the original 6, it looked better to me. I saw the 6.1. I just thought the front looked a little bit. I think personally, right, I have to be careful always because someone's got a 6.1 and they're going, oh, why are you saying my van's ugly? I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying when I was able to compare it, I was sitting outside and I was able to compare it. I think I prefer the look of the current one, but I think all the tech that they've added to the inside of the 6.1 obviously is very attractive. But I agree, people do love watching videos about people talking about their vans, And I think if I could put up a video talking about the carpets or probably the handbrake, and people would watch it. They'd watch it and they just go, "What's he talking about the handbrake?" And I think then it's kind of food for thought.
Cooking lessons in it. Cooking lessons.
No, it has to be talking about the van. Well, yeah, you could do.
It's talking about the cooking rings.
Yeah, you could. I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could put a video up on most things and people would engage and watch it and stuff like that as well. Actually, I heard an interesting thing today. So obviously the riots in the States and all that's going on, which is crazy at the moment. But I was watching what's his name? The guy I like. He does the tech reviews. MKB. He's very good, right? He's really good. And and obviously he's black. He's a black guy, and he was talking about it, and he was going on about how he set this channel up, and he's been quite successful. He's like he's 11, 12, 13 million subs and all that. But he was going on about his channel, and he was saying that basically he has this online persona where that he's able to, he gets all the respect and all that kind of stuff online. But then the minute he leaves, and it was always the same, and apparently he played he's very good at golf and all these kind of things. So when he was in that world, he was respected and colour wasn't an issue. But then he said he would go walking down the street and he'd run into racist issues and all that kind of stuff. So that's what he was kind of talking about. But actually he made a very interesting point about channels, about the algorithm, which I wasn't aware of. Because people were saying what you should do now is find out all people who are black in a black channel and subscribe to them and help them with their subscribe numbers, right? And I was kind of going, yeah, okay, fair enough. But he said, no, don't do that. He said not to do that. And why do you think he said not to do that?
Because the algorithm will stop it anyway.
No.
I don't know.
What do you think?
I've no idea.
Interestingly, what he said was that if you get loads of people subscribing to your channel but not watching your videos, the algorithm goes, oh, their videos are obviously all rubbish. You probably had one good video, you got loads of people to sub, and then what it does then, it pushes you down in the rankings. And I was going, okay, that's quite interesting. Right. What did you say?
Because of the algorithm.
Well, I said, yeah, but what did you say specifically? And
you said no.
Did I not?
You said no.
What? I don't know. So
you just wanted to hear yourself think. You actually, answered with the thought process that you were going to answer anyway, whether I got it right or wrong.
No, it didn't.
You did.
I was going to no, you didn't, because you didn't get it right. But I didn't expect you to get it right. It was a rhetorical question. I was
Well, then
expecting
why
to
did
say
you
I
say
don't know.
twice? What do you think? No,
Because
what
I
do you
just,
think? Well, what do you think? No, you're wrong.
I wanted to give you the opportunity. I wanted to give you a second chance rather than just shutting you down at the first one. But anyway, it was just quite interesting. But I have to say, all the stuff that's gone on in the States is nuts. So what's going
I
on?
drink wine every Friday.
The T6 one is lovely. The new Dash, yeah, very nice. I looked in the Dash and don't prefer the T6. Yeah.
Is ours a T6?
There's a T6, yeah.
I prefer the T6 as well, Dackle.
Yeah. I don't know.
Mr. Ford said the best thing he ever bought was a Kelly.
Yeah, I think they are. I think they're a good investment. And I have to say, it's only because it's sitting out there now and we can't use it. I was only saying to you earlier, I'd love to go for a drive in it. And I do, like you, I do love driving it, and I do love the height. I love sitting in it, and I love being able to, just the clearance that you have.
I love driving it when I'm in it on my own.
Do you?
Yeah. I don't like driving it when you're in it.
Here we go. Here goes the J bashing. Go on. Why not?
I just don't.
Why?
You know your own reasons why I don't like driving with you.
Because I get nervous because you're such a good driver and I'm a terrible driver.
Yeah. Well, I'm a lot more careful than you are.
No, you're not.
I am.
You're not.
I am.
You're not.
I'm an hour.
No, so you're not, because what you do is I think you're careful in some ways and in other ways you're not. But it's my fault because you don't have enough practice driving a van. That's the issue. That's the issue. But every time I say to you, when we leave that driveway and I'm going to somewhere like Limerick or Cork or Galway or anything like that, I say, do you want to drive?
And I say,
no. Yeah. So look, it's chicken and egg. You're never going to get the experience of driving it and everything like that if you keep saying no. Or when we're coming back, I say, do you want to drive in the motorway? The only thing I'd say is that you drive too slow in the motorway. And then you drive too quick to villages. That's my criticism of you. When we get to the motorway and we can kind of open her up and really take off and get home quickly, you tend to go. You stay below the limit, and then you're a bit of a nervous Nelly. And then, but when we hit a village, I'd be like, oh, doors and stuff, and I'm like going, and then you're kind of blasting through the villages. You do. They get a dash cam and watch yourself. Play it back.
We have a
and
dash
watch.
cam.
Yeah, but get your own dash cam in your own car. And welcome to Rent a Row. And what?
I'm not arguing.
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing with you.
I'm not arguing with you.
It's not an argument when it's the truth. Yeah, the truth hurts. So, what are the comments coming in? What else is anyone saying? Best thing ever bought. For example, storage. Okay. Dackle's obviously hanging on to discussing about the van. Very good. For the yes, that is a bit of it. That definitely is some kind of compromise. All right, the way the dash is open, and they did that because they have to fit in that big screen and everything like that. So there are definitely compromises, and I think, but they're working on the T7 because I saw a video on the VW California forum, and somebody had put a video up. I didn't bother watching it, but I think. So a comment has come in from Fitness Training with Vanessa. How do you put up with him? Poor Vanessa. Well, Vanessa. I'm fantastic to put up with.
Fantastic.
I'm not talking anymore. No, I'm not talking.
You've been trending that for 6 weeks. And
no, I'm definitely not talking now.
Are you not?
You can talk. Go on. Hang on, I get to you. Go on now. Go on. Go on, talk.
Hang on, you get the one.
Nothing.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Shh. Go on, talk.
I haven't seen the storage in the new dashboard. I refuse to look at it. But we don't have storage in our dashboard though.
We do.
No, we got that speaker put in. You remember the one you paid $2,500 for?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that put into where the... You're not going to play music in it? I guess.
Go on anyway. What were we saying?
I was saying we ought to have storage on the dashboard.
No, not on the dash. No, so we have the double glove box thing. And then where
does everyone not have that double glove box?
They do on the T6, yeah. And the T5 would have probably. Yeah. I don't know what's in the T5. It's probably a standard one big glove box. But you see, people have on the dash.
Buddy, don't put
they have the little storage unit that sits on the top, but we have that speaker sitting in it, so we don't have that. But it's good because it's just clutter, and I don't like it. I don't like clutter.
Yeah, I used to put hats and everything in mine when I had my
You still
van.
do. You still do. Let's see now. My wife does most of it. We have a caravan as well. She pulls that as well. Oh. Isn't he lucky? Isn't he lucky? Spoiled.
Spoiled he is.
That is what I mean. Not sure what do you mean? That's what you mean. What do you mean? What did I say?
No, the hole where we have our speaker.
Oh yeah.
That's what
Oh
he's
right.
talking about.
Okay.
It's not
okay.
in the new 6.1.
Okay. So what? Now you stop that.
What did I do?
I've told you that now because I get paranoid
stop
with
giving out.
you behind me then doing up the stuff, and I be kind of going. Then when I'm watching the video back, I notice then I'm like, going, "What are you doing?" So what are you doing?
Turn them into a ghost.
Okay, I'll give you that. So you're what else did you want to talk about then? What was the other topics? I've covered it. Well, I didn't want to go on about the anamorphic lens too much. So did anyone happen to watch that video? Did they like it? Was there any comments? I know I got some comments from people saying that they had watched it, but it was I thought it was nice.
It's very specific though, if you like photography, isn't it?
Well, it is, and I put it up to sort of see, really it's probably not for Air Channel. It's more for people who are into you're distracting me now. Either sit there or go away. Now what are you doing? Okay. So it's more for the
You're in great form tonight.
it's not that I'm not in
My
bad. I'm not in
God,
bad.
what's wrong
It's
with
not
you?
that I'm in bad form. It's just that I can't. I struggle with my concentration, and then I have him floating around behind
There
me.
is a little project
It's
for
like
you.
driving, and you have the kids in the back, and you're kind of going, "Don't bring me
Yeah.
back there."
There is a little project for you now. Be
What?
more empathetic. If he wants to get a little drink, he's allowed a little drink, okay? And you have your little drink there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't you take your little sup there?
Obviously, I haven't had enough. Is there any straws? Is there?
I'll look.
They're bad for the environment.
No, there's no straws. I know. I threw them all out.
Into landfill, was it? Into landfill.
So what he's talking about then? Like,
You talk. You're the Mr. Talker.
well,
He
what
just
the?
said he's not talking.
I know, yeah, but that has never stopped him before.
No, this won't play. So yeah, well, look, if anyone watched it and they had any thoughts on the video, I'd be interested to hear them. But I think what else? So what about the riot? What are we doing for? How are we doing for time?
We're grand.
The riots in why does it always get so warm in here? We're on this thing. The riots in America have been something else, haven't they?
Terrible.
That's it. Terrible.
They are terrible.
They're terrible.
I haven't been watching the way you have. I've only seen little bits on the news. I haven't been watching
Yeah.
the way you have, but what I have seen is absolutely terrible. Shocking,
It is.
shocking behaviour.
And the thing I can't get over it is the level of violence by the cops to protesters. Now I can understand them taking a tough line, but still operating within the law
Yeah.
with looters and things like that as well. Because obviously that's a different thing. They're criminals. They're burning places down. They could kill people. They need to take a tough stance with them and everything like that. I agree that, but they still should operate within the law. But this thing of going up to people's faces and spraying pepper spray into, you see them people pushing old elderly people over. I've seen 2 videos of elderly people being pushed over, and I think one guy was standing, and obviously he was kind of like they were marching down the street, and he wasn't moving, so he was protesting. But then they shoved him over, and these people fall backwards and they land on their head. But then there's this other guy,
That's how people
this
die.
this other older man, and they pushed him over as well.
That's what we were watching earlier.
But then you could see the line of cops stopped, and you could see them all looking over, going, "What? Something's happened." And then you could see the other cops saying, because they had a video from a different angle, the other cops getting down to pick him up and kind of going. So
they're not all the same either. You
No.
have to say that too.
Yeah, but I still, like.
What's in them? There's obviously something in those particular guys. They never should have. That there should have been a psych report done on those.
They must
That
be.
they
must
never
be.
should be in that role. Like I struggle to believe that guy that's now being charged with George Floyd's murder, that was the first time.
No, he'd 18 previous.
See, there you go.
Allegedly,
Why?
you have to be careful now because we are publishing, so you have
Yeah,
to say all
but
allegedly and all that
yeah.
stuff, right?
Well, I didn't say. You said it. So why?
I didn't say that.
You said he had 18, and I said I struggle to believe that was his first time.
Just don't sue me or take me to court. We're okay over here. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, no, maybe not.
But I just can't. Why was he still in his job? Why was he still holding law and order?
Because
he was being protected.
Well, it's endemic over there.
But we had issues over here in our own police department, and only for the air whistleblower. Do you know what I mean? There was so much going on.
Yeah, but
only for him.
You're talking about Ireland, like we've one police force.
But it doesn't matter. They're
what is it? 10,000 cops.
They're there to have law and order.
No,
that should be their job, and to look after people, no matter what your race is.
I know, and look, I think if you over there, you'd have to. It's a different philosophy anyway of who they let into the force, and also I think, because you get people going in to the guards over here who are like graduates and everything. Now again, it attracts all sorts, but I think the idea, I think what over there is that they've a different standard, but also, they're dealing with a different kind of person as well, because we've seen videos of people pulling guns on them and all that,
Obviously, they're allowed to have guns and whatever, and you're not over here.
Well, it's far more dangerous. I was actually watching a video of, there's a guy I watch, Potato Jet. He's very good. Gene, I can't think of his name. Gene something, right? Potato Jet's his handle anyway. Very interesting. But what happened was, so I follow him, and he does lots of videos on tech, right, cameras and everything like that. And that's what he does. He has his own production company. Very interesting guy. A bit like, say, a bit of a nerd, if you know what I mean. But does great videos. Very interesting. Very nice guy. But then he was going on about saying that they'd been told that the protest was going to come through their area, and then he goes, "Well, we're ready," and he points the camera to his couch, and he's 3 machine guns on it, right? 3 AR, those AR or whatever they're called, right? And the 3 of them are on his, like, you can watch his video. And I went, okay, so you would go into this guy's house. It'd be like coming to our house, and all of a sudden then we have 3 machine guns. And you're kind of going, now, in fairness, he was showing videos of people breaking into it. They've had lots of burglaries and everything like that as well. But they say the quickest way to die, to be killed by your assailant, is attack them with something, because they'll take it off you and attack you with it. So if you have a gun and you don't know how to use it, they're as quick to get it off you, or a knife, that they're going to take it off you and then come back at you.
Yeah, but in Ireland, the law is if you kill someone in your house that has broken in, or if you hurt them in any way, shape or form, that's your fault. That's not their fault.
Yeah, but you're encouraged to get away from people getting into your house though as well. Like, it's within reason.
Yeah.
And that stands in America as well. There's these kind of, like, within America, you're encouraged. The first thing to do is try and get to safety, and before killing somebody, like, don't take the law into your own hands. But Jane had three. I don't know what the name of they are, but they're those really popular machine guns that they have over there. You know that way, assault rifles.
I don't, because I just can't. I can't understand
but
why
that's what he
somebody
had.
wants
But he's
something
this
like that in their house.
real mild mannered guy. Does videos and everything like that, and he has these things. Now there's 3 of them in there.
Imagine feeling like you need to have that.
Yeah. Oh, sure. This is the thing. His car was being burgled, right? And he has this thing in his car that watches the inside of the car, a little camera, and it sends an alarm to his phone, and he's able to look on the phone and see there's a guy in the car. So there's a guy in the car with a glove going through everything, checking. But he went out with a handgun. You're kind of going, okay. So look, it's America.
I can't see this happening in Ireland either, or Germany. Deco.
What?
What are you saying there about the police? 1,100 people have died because of police violence.
Yeah, look, I think it's
sad.
It's just when you see, I heard stories growing up about stuff that the guards used to do here. You hear stories about them, taking rough justice into their own hands. Of kind of basically, they catch some young lad doing something and they get him into the back of the car and give him a few slaps and send him on his way. And that's wrong. That's obviously wrong. But they don't want to go through all the paperwork and everything like that as well. But now you see with all these cameras and everything like that. But the fact to see them shooting rubber bullets at people, protesting peacefully and spraying stuff into their face, you're like,
listen,
it's OTT.
We weren't affected by it, but our own country was affected by that.
What?
Rubber bullets and everything else. So we don't need to start on that.
What?
The north.
Well, you brought that up.
So it's just.
So don't talk about what you just brought up. Okay, fair enough. Right? Okay, don't think about a black horse. So But yeah, no, it is. I just think I just think it is. You know, it is. It is scary. It is. Actually, I have a story. I what time are we doing for time?
Well, it's one of your stories. How
So,
long do you need?
Years ago, years and years and years ago, right? We were so basically what it is that it seems to be there's double standards, right? Now you know yourself, like you can. There's going to be good policemen and bad policemen and all that kind of stuff as well, right? But I remember I was in New York and I was trying to get across the Brooklyn Bridge, right? And so in my mind, I was thinking the Brooklyn Bridge starts down at water level, right? I wasn't used to thinking of the Brooklyn Bridge as huge and it actually ends well into Manhattan, right? So you know the way it comes. So that's the thing. So I'd gotten a bit lost and I was down looking for the Brooklyn Bridge. Now I could see the Brooklyn Bridge, but I was kind of going, how do you get onto it, right? So because I didn't realize it was say further back up. So what happened was I was walking along and I had a backpack on, a baseball cap, black glasses, and so on. And I was walking sort of near one of the huge arches, and it was quite dark and so on. And there was two New York cops standing with their back to me. And as I went walking over to them, they could hear me walking and they turned and I gave them a fright. And such a fright, one of them reached for his gun, which scared me to death, right? Because a man like that, he reached for his gun. So I was like, how's it going? How's things? And he was going, but you could see a man, like, because obviously they must have thought I was up to something. I just, you know, because I was wearing glasses and a baseball cap and a backpack and everything.
He has that effect.
I gave him such a fright.
Actually, remember in France?
In Paris,
But-
yeah.
In Paris.
But he gave me, like, they startled me and you could kind of go, yeah,
Did
okay.
you need to buy new pants?
No, but but it's just that you could see. I was amazed because obviously our cops aren't armed generally, right? And I was amazed to see how quickly, you know, just by being startled, he reached for his gun. Not a kind of like, hey, what are you doing? Or it's kind of straight to the hip, like, you know, and you're kind of going, wow, like. Whereas the other guy didn't. He just he did. But I definitely startled the two of them. That's the thing. I don't know what this has to do with France. So what happened in France?
We had only got off we were only in Paris for one day, really. We got there late the evening before, and we only had one full day in Paris before we had to get the boat to come home. And we wanted to see everything, so we got up, we went on the train, we got out at what's the name of the Seine? Is that what it's called? The Seine. And we came across the road after being on the train and walked across the road, and we were standing on the bridge. And with that, there was me, Christian, and Jason's nephew. And Jason was looking down the river, but he had the usual, the cap on, the backpack, all dressed in black, the glasses, and we were standing. He had a big beard as well, and a scarf around his neck, and we were standing about probably 3 or 4 feet away from him. But with that, I'd say about 4 or 5 cops came over and were around him.
I wasn't aware of it.
And he was completely unaware. He had the phone camera with the little mouse thing sticking out of it and everything.
When I was doing those videos, there's videos on the channel, and we were in Paris, and what it was a Gorilla Grip hold, you know, the Gorilla Grip holder, and the phone was on it, and it had the thing. But I was completely unaware that I was being eyeballed. Now at the time,
and we were
Paris,
backing away. At
the time in Paris, there was a lot of stuff going on. Remember, they were blocking the paths and everything like that. They were putting concrete bollards all over us. We'd gotten there. There had been some terrorist incidents and all that kind of stuff as well. But clearly, I was being. I must have looked really dodgy because of the big beard, backpack, sunglasses, and everything like that as well. You know, so I don't know. Like I don't know if I'd fit the type, but maybe.
What's the type?
Well, all the terrorist attacks were being carried out by people who were of Arabic, were either Arabic or were sort of like, say, North African. So they were either black or they were Arabic. So they were people of colour, that kind of thing. Whereas I was walking around with a big pale skin and a big ginger beard.
But I think they were looking for the backpacks, or you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's the backpack, I think, that drew the attention to you more so than anything.
I don't know. I'd say it was you
and
guys.
the backpack bulging with like wires and everything for
They
charging.
couldn't see the wires.
But they probably could. They might have had some sort of a scanner. You don't know that.
Nah.
Daddy.
What?
And you were very tall too, so they could have thought you were threatening.
I am very tall and handsome, son. Thank you very much.
No threatening.
Threatening.
Thank you. You can stay there. You can stay there now.
Oh, he's allowed to stay there now, is he?
You can do whatever you want now.
I can see.
And now you're going, right?
Everything.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't start people.
So yeah, look, I think it's just crazy what's going on over there, and I definitely think they need to sort out some of their issues. But I think, you know, I do believe, say, people go into those kind of professions, and I definitely think it's very important that they filter them heavily to kind of get the right kind of person. But I do believe over time it must wear them down. The stuff they must see and have to experience, it must desensitize them on some level, that they become so desensitized that somebody kneeling on the ground that they can pull their head back and spray them with pepper spray. I'd say they get amped up. There was a guy I knew years ago, and he was
well, you know, they're endorphins. They just don't they react rather than think.
There was a guy I knew years ago, and he was a bouncer, and he used to teach this. He used to teach Kempo karate, right? So that's what he used to do. He used to teach that, right? And I used to go to Kempo karate, and they used to tell me these stories. But he used to say that bouncers, right? So no disrespect to bouncers who are good bouncers, but what he used to say was that bouncers, they'd be, before they'd go out that night, they'd be in the gym pumping iron all day and beating on the punch bag and then getting completely amped up. Now, this is a long time ago, before they had to wear all their IDs and all that kind of stuff. But they'd get totally amped up, and they'd be praying for somebody to come along and cause trouble. So there is a kind of mindset of people who do go in, and they have to have some kind of outlet, and their outlet is basically, you know, physically beating people up. But I just think you have to be very careful. But he did tell me a very funny story one time. So what happened was, these guys all have like 3, 4, 5, 6 black belts, right? They're super, super dangerous guys, right? So your man is like a 6 or 7 Dan. And he was standing there, and he was like telling me, and he was only a short guy, right? So he was like 5'3" or 5'4" or something like that, right? So he was there, and but he said, you know, he's, because he admits it, he said, I'm half praying for somebody to come up, just so he can do some real kind of stuff, like, you know, that way. But he doesn't want to, he said, I don't want to go too far, I don't want to kill somebody, but he's praying for this to happen.
Obviously.
So what happens, all these guys come up, and because he's a smaller kind of guy, you know, big fellas coming up drunk and all wouldn't be really overly intimidated by it, but he'd be lethal, right? He'd be absolutely totally lethal. Like, he could basically put his leg up like this. He could scratch your head with his toe if he wanted, you know, the way. Anyway, so what happened was, he was saying that so all these guys were getting real leery with him and giving him loads of abuse, and he was standing there kind of going, just praying for one of them. But what he hadn't noticed is one of their little girlfriends was standing there, and with that she hit him in the private region with her handbag. And he said he dropped like a ton of rocks. He said he just went down because he hadn't anticipated.
Takes a woman.
He said he completely, yeah, of course all the other bouncers thought it was hilarious and they were all laughing at him. He was crumpled up on the ground, but he was like going, the irony was that he was all pumped up.
I'm
anyway.
just looking at Dackle there, he's saying as if you were up to no good, as if people who are up to no good are all equally dressed like in a uniform. I know years ago my son used to wear black clothes, long hair, etc. I warned him that he would be judged based on how he looks. In Dublin Airport, he was put aside for further investigation, and he was only in check-in area. That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get stopped quite a lot.
And that's very interesting. I do.
Yeah.
Because it's funny now, whenever I go away, so when I go on work trips, one of the guys I tend to travel with a lot always goes into a different queue from me, because I always get stopped. So what is it?
I don't know, because Christian and I go through all the time, and you just get stopped.
Yeah, and remember when we were in America?
Yeah.
I was put into the machine that sniffs you and all that kind of stuff, you know. Maybe I just look really shady.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I do, whenever I go through, they always seem to be kind of going, you know, you take off your shoes, and can you take off your belt, and what's in this, and can you come back, and blah, 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 and pat me down and all that kind of stuff.
Remember even going was the Empire State Building, your woman wouldn't allow you to take your mic. And you were like, why?
But they did in the end, didn't they?
They did in the end, yeah. Her supervisor came over and he was like, no, you're grand, go on.
Yeah. They're saying, whatever that reason.
Yeah.
I totally forgotten that as well. Okay. So, yeah. But, yeah, look, I'd say at the end of the day, the way I look at it is that at the end of the day, you know, reading these kind of books, right? So reading books about human nature and all that kind of stuff, right? Is very important, and I think it does teach.
Did you finish that book?
No, but I think I've lost my page.
Oh, I hate that.
So I think we do operate on a subconscious level. So when we see this is the problem, when we see somebody who's, as I was saying to you earlier, so when we see somebody who doesn't look like us, we're immediately because what they say is, the way they look at it is that, you know, if there's a rustle in the hedge and we get nervous and we get spooked by it, right? Better that it's just the breeze blowing through the hedge and we're a bit nervous and we back away than we're not nervous and it's a tiger or a snake. And you see, so the people who weren't nervous and stood at the hedge, even though it was rustling, they're no longer with us. They're gone out of the gene pool. So all the people who survived that kind of stuff has led us to the point that we have heightened senses of kind of defense and all that kind of stuff. Well, we've really gone on a tangent on this one, haven't we?
Well, you have.
So,
I
yeah.
haven't. But Gogglebox is about to start in 15 minutes, so we have 5 minutes as a little cool down for Jay. So have you anything else you'd like to say?
I have one thing to say.
Go on.
Buddy.
What is it?
So you know the way you were like, oh, why would they always stop me and stuff? They probably wouldn't find a woman and a child as threatening.
Yes, but do you know what it is? That's true, but that is also because I'll tell you what it is, right? That is true, but what it is that it's at their peril, because there are such thing as female. You know, not because of the algorithm and all that kind of stuff, but you get what I mean. There's female baddies as well, right? So but I always remember when I used to work in the supermarkets, right? So when I worked in supermarkets like Tesco and all that years ago, the security guards would be standing there, and what would happen was a certain type of person would walk in the door, and I knew, right? So if I ever wanted to go shoplifting, I'd get a good haircut, and I'd put on a suit, and I'd walk into the shop.
That is so funny. Dackle has literally just said that.
Oh really?
Yeah. He has literally just said that.
There you go. Yeah. So to commit a crime is wear a nice suit and have a nice haircut when the barber's open again and carry and that's true, because I used to be standing there and you'd see the security guards and a guy would walk in well dressed, or a woman respectable and everything like that, you know, and they'd be like going, yeah, how you doing, blah blah blah. But next thing, someone would walk in with a tracksuit and they'd be like going, okay, boom, and they'd go after him. Now you kind of go, look, in the grand scheme of things. But what they're doing is they're basically
stereotyping.
No, they're profiling the person.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what they're saying. But if you were like that, you could go in and you would be, you know, with impunity. You could walk around the shop and people wouldn't suspect you, like, you know. So that's the thing. It's kind of, but people who are wearing high end suits and everything like that,
assumed.
they don't go into Nick you know,
Loves the bread.
yeah, they're basically, they're white collar crime. They're stealing hundreds of thousands here, there, and everywhere, like, you know. So that's the thing. But there you go, Dackle. Obviously, great minds think alike. So this is a bit of a funny one tonight now. Bit of a
Funny,
we went down
funny,
on
peculiar.
we went on a bit of a strange conversation, I think. So, and it happens every time you're behind me.
What do you mean?
Because I get really
Nothing to do with the
it
child.
is.
You go off on tangents no matter
really,
what.
I get really paranoid with him hanging around behind me. I can't relax. Next week, if you're sitting with us, you're sitting in front. And
Yeah!
Then he can make whatever faces he wants.
And I'm going to sit behind you. So look, I think the thing is to wrap it up, because obviously I'd love to see what people's reactions are to when they're watching us. I'd love to see that, because people are probably going,
Take a little picture.
What are they talking about? But I think the what was I going to say? Come on.
Nobody said anything. You distracted yourself there.
Oh yeah. So looks like the lockdown is starting to end, and I think that next week we'll be in a position to we'll start to maybe getting out and about again, and we'll probably be back to doing proper videos and all that kind of stuff as well. So see you, Aaron, and I think we'll so that's good news. And then we can end these mad videos. And then we can start going back to do our normal stuff of arguing in the van.
Deadly! Can't
so
wait.
That'll be much better. Arguing over the food and arguing about who's driving.
We never
and all
argue
that
over
kind of
the
stuff
food.
as well. No, we never.
You love the food in the camper van.
Yeah, no. But I'm just saying. I'm just making
You just having a
conversation.
moan.
I'm just making conversation.
You love an little moan, don't you?
Didn't you
Bye, Aaron. Take care.
Oh, what was that? Go on, yeah. What were you saying, Christian?
Yeah, so you know the way you were like, oh, I'd like to know what people are thinking when they watch this.
Yeah.
I could watch it next week and I could write down notes and stuff and be like, yeah, these people are crazy and stuff. Write down that kind of stuff.
Yeah, cool.
And write down what I think.
Cool.
I think that's a great idea.
Brilliant idea.
Okay, guys.
Or
Right.
I could say
We'll wrap it up.
what happens.
And as
So we'll see you. Yeah. Go on. What we
as
say?
Miriam O'Callaghan would say,
Ihawa.
Ihawa.
Ihawa, which is good night to anyone who's not Irish.
Is it not goodbye for now?
No, Iha is night and Wa is nice. So good, whatever. So good night.
Alright.
Safe driving.
Hopefully we
Bye.
get driving.
Eat your fruit and
I
veg.
will drive safely, Dackle or Mr. Ford. Not sure about.
Stay healthy during quarantine, everybody.
Okay. Well then, so I'll end the stream now. I can't see the comments.
There's loads of comments.
Okay.
You
So
take care too, Dackle.
I'm gonna hit the end stream, but don't say anything till I hit both end streams.
Bye.
Okay, I'm gonna have to hit this one.
Bye. Bye.
Wait now. And wait now.